And now we are joined by Sean Fazende, who is about to release Mock Draft 1.0, first of the season for Sean, first of two. Let's start with round one, pick 9. So many possibilities with this one, but Sean, where do you think the Saints land on pick 9?
All right. So I started with a wide range of candidates, whittled it down to 7, and of those 7, Ty went to the need. And as the Saints are currently constructed, I see the biggest need on this team being the one at cornerback. So with that, I chose Will Johnson, cornerback out of Michigan, 6'2", 200 pounds, can play zone, can play man. He's coming off of a foot injury, which I don't like, missed the back half of the last season, but incredible football IQ, incredible break on the ball. He processes things very well when it comes from a route concept standpoint. And look, he's played zone and man, as I mentioned, with Brandon Staley running that Vic Fangio cover 6 type scheme. I think it can be a fit. The only thing I don't like, a lot of off coverage at Michigan. You're not going to get away with playing that much off coverage in the NFL.
Yeah, I think a lot of what the Saints showed, like their first focus of free agency was more on the defensive side of the ball. So, hey, that may be the side that they're wanting to address first in the draft. So we'll see how the Saints fall with that one. Second round, they pick at number 40. So what do you think they do with that second pick?
All right, I could have went a lot of different directions here, but I went back to the pipeline they love the most, the Ohio State Buckeyes with guard Donovan Jackson. He's a guy, he's played guard, he's played tackle. In fact, he played tackle during the national championship game, so he's got great versatility, projects to be a guard at the next level. The Saints do have a need at that left guard spot. Don't know if he would walk in and be a day one starter, but he would walk in and be a day one competitor to possibly be a starter. And look, the Saints believe in the trenches. They do it just about every year. They draft someone along the line of scrimmage very early in the draft, usually the first round, but in this mock draft, I had them go up the second round. Donovan Jackson, Ohio State.
And we know that the Saints love those Ohio State guys. Their talent just translates to the NFL so quickly. Pick 71st,
Yep.
71st pick overall in the third round. Where do you think they go with that one?
All right, I'm getting less and less confident about this pick, not because I don't like the player, but I think everyone else is starting to love him too. So I don't know if he's going to be available at 71. The latest mocks that I've been reading is mid to late second round. So with that in mind, or keep that in mind when I reveal Iowa State wide receiver Jaden Higgins. The research took me to some bigger receivers, and I landed on Jaden Higgins. Jaden Higgins is a big catch radius guy, 6'4", 215 pounds, runs a 4.47 40. I keep finding something not to like about him, but he checks a lot of boxes. And if you look at the Saints' current wide receiver room, yeah, they have a lot of receivers, but they're all under 6 foot. Yeah. This guy's 6'4", can be a contested catch guy, wins 50-50 balls, and he's probably got more, not probably, he has more speed than perhaps people realize. Those longer guys don't always look the fastest. He's pretty smooth, pretty good run after catch. There's a lot of talk about Ted McMillan, and rightfully so, and Ted McMillan deserves to be, the #1 receiver in this class. But when you watch Ted McMillan and then you watch Jaden Higgins, not a whole lot of drop-off between the two. So if Saints were able to get Higgins here in the third round, that could be a steal.
Yeah, they could definitely use a guy like with his size in that wide receiver room, like you said. All right, 93rd pick overall in the third round.
All right, you're going to like this one.
Okay.
All right, the Saints need
LSU?
edge defenders. This is an LSU defender starting to really like Braden Swinson, 6'4", 255 pounds. A little bit of a different prototype from what we've used to, or what we've seen with the Saints, but with that 3-4 system that they're going to bring in, that's really the biggest difference. You're going to have a lighter guy standing up off the edge. We know they re-signed Chase Young, but Braden Swinson is a guy, really is I don't know how, he didn't do much, he didn't participate in LSU's Pro Day, which I was a little disappointed in, but he's a guy, 8.5 sacks a season ago, was relentless, even when he's blocked out of the play, with chasing down plays, both in the passing game and in the run game. So Braden Swinson can provide great value at a good position in that second, third round pick for the Saints.
Yeah, and he showed so much growth last year for the Tigers, so that'll be an interesting pick if the Saints choose to do that. All right, moving to the fourth round, 112th pick overall.
One of my favorite selections of my mock draft. Again, another guy I did not have on my radar, but as the research kind of brings you to certain players, I go to the running back position, and I go to DJ Giddens from Kansas State. Running back-to-back 1,000-yard season. They had a lot of Big 12 playmakers, just like Jaden Higgins earlier. But DJ Giddens is a guy, he's 6'1", and normally when you see, that's a little bit tall for a running back. You don't normally see the shiftiness out of a tall guy. This guy's got incredible shiftiness once he gets in the hole. I think it's a good contrast to a guy like Alvin Kamara, who's very smooth and has well balance. And the one thing I love about Giddens, this guy has home run ability. You see it all over the tape where he's shifty in the hole, then boom, He's out in the open field. He's running for a 40, 50-yard touchdown. Plus, he can add some receiving versatility. He had about 29 catches a season ago.
All right, second pick in the 4th round there, pick 131.
Solid prospect out of University of Texas. Tight end Gunnar Helm. Smooth, knows exactly who he is. A lot of production last year. Really benefited from Steve Sarkisian's system, which there was a lot of misdirection. He kind of got caught out in the flat wide open because the play took him in another direction. So Gunnar Helm, the tight end from Texas, love him with that second, 4th round pick.
All right, the Saints don't have a 5th round pick, but they do have another one in the 6th round pick, 184.
You might be intrigued with this
Okay.
one, okay? It is quarterback / athlete Riley Leonard out of Notre Dame. I put / athlete for a reason because I do not believe Riley Leonard is going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. Maybe he can become a backup. But when I watched him at that Sugar Bowl against Georgia and I watched the way he ran, he's fast, but he also runs with a physical nature about him. I think you can use that sort of in a hybrid sense. And this is the team that Taysom Hill. He's not going to be Taysom Hill. We understand that. But having a hybrid type athlete to help with some snaps and just maybe a different package that you can utilize a skill set like that, I think this could provide an intriguing selection for the Saints in the 6th round.
All right, 7th round pick, 248.
Another local prospect. And I really wasn't paying much attention to him until I went to Tulane's Pro Day.
Okay.
Caleb Ransaw, he is listed as a safety, could play corner. Talked to John Summerall. He says he can play all 5 positions in the defensive backfield. This stage of the draft, you're trying to get someone that does exactly that, provide depth, position versatility, and special teams, timed off the charts at Tulane's Pro Day. So this could be nice value at 248. Caleb Ransaw out of Tulane.
All right, and their final pick of the 2025 NFL Draft, 7th round pick, 254. What do they do?
Didn't go offense, didn't go defense.
Okay.
Went special teams with Florida State punter Alex Mastromano. This is a guy's solid leg, very consistent on a team that didn't have a whole lot of consistency a season ago in Florida State. Let's be honest. It was a rough year, and frankly, he was probably on the field a little bit more than maybe the Seminoles fans wanted to see him on the field as a punter. But to me, you want competition everywhere. If you're Kellen Moore, your first team, why not add some competition at the punter room? Because every little bit helps. You're trying to make up ground to be different than what you were a season ago when they went 5-12. So Mastromano out of Florida State, the punter, rounds out my mock draft.
All right, showing special teams some love. I personally love when punters or kickers get drafted in those late rounds. So we'll see what the Saints choose to do. Draft is only a couple weeks away, so we are very anxious and awaiting the Saints picks for the 2025 NFL Draft. Sean, thank you very much.
Thank you.